They're no time to deal with their budget this year.
Okay.
Not bad.
Thank you, everyone, for your patience. I'd like to call this afternoon's meeting of the Orange County Transportation Council Planning Committee meeting to order. We will start off with in-person roll call.
46% last year.
I'll get us started. I'm going to ask that everyone please state your full name and affiliation as we go around the room. That would be greatly appreciated. Helps us with the meeting minutes. Alan Sorensen, Commissioner of Planning, MPO Director for the Transportation Council.
Stacy Butler, Deputy Commissioner of Planning for Orange County.
Nicole Farmer, New York State Department of Transportation.
John Ravella, Village of Walden.
Chad Wade, City of Newburgh.
Jacob DeWiel, City of Middletown.
Kedalia Sekida, Town of Palm Tree, Village of Curtisville.
Denise Quinn, Town of Wawayanda. And Gary Spears messaged me. He said he's waiting to be let in, so I don't know if you let him in yet or not. Okay.
Steve Bedetti, Town of New Windsor.
Rob Geralman, Town of Boone Grove.
Karen?
Karen Barnes, Orange Pathways.
Sean Arnett, Orange County DPW. Rob Harrington, Orange County Planning.
Stephanie Midler, Orange County Attorney's Office.
Deanna Crawford, Orange County Parks.
Jeff Barrett, Town of New Windsor.
So Mike Rainer to Wheel, Orange County Planning Department.
And Hannah Burton just stepped out for a moment, also with the Planning Department. Raina, will you please continue on with the online participant roll call? Please.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sandra Jobson, New York State DOT.
Thank you so much, Sandra. We also have Ferglitz joining us, along with Dan Perkowski, Corey, Olu, MTA, Adrian Olu, Naomi Klein. We have Katie Cohen joining us. I apologize if I misspoke your last name, Katie. We have Mr. G on the line. We've got David Lake as well. We've got Manny and Gabrielle. And if I did miss you on the roll call, I do apologize. We do have a number 845-754-6061, which should be redacted from the record. If you could just state your name and affiliation, that would help us to be able to just state that for the record. And that should conclude our online participants at this time.
So Gary Spears said he's waiting to be let in. You did not list him off.
And Denise made an excellent point. Gary Spears will also be joining us as well.
Okay.
Dear,
Standing up for you guys.
Absolutely.
Wow, loyalty.
Raina, thank you.
When am I getting on that list?
List.
Okay.
Moving along.
Spell it out.
I'm going to call for citizen participation. Do we have any members of the public who wish to provide commentary to the board? Karen? Yeah.
We'll go ahead.
I think you're going to have your hands up. Karen, you could have just, you can just comment from your seat.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Should have.
not such a big target. My name's Karen Barnes. I know some of you well. And I'm glad to meet you. I'm here at the request of Bert Thielander from Orange Pathways. It's a committee of Vision Hudson Valley, and we thoroughly and enthusiastically support the improvement and expansion and extension of the Heritage Trail. Just from my background, I've been working on building a trail network in Sullivan County, including a $1.3 million TAP grant. So I'm used to dealing with TAP people at Region 9. They're wonderful. And we support the improvement and extension of this trail. And my experience is that we have seen in the last few years a growing interest and support for pedestrian and bicycle trails, of which the Heritage Trail is one fabulous example. And we see that trail networks and trail availability is one of the factors that young families look at when they're considering where to move to. So this brings people in, they want to know, gee, what's near me? It's a good school, it's a nice trail, it's a good park. And many of the communities have them. And so these trails also generate a lot of income in terms of tourist spending, shops, motels, bike rentals, all sorts of things. And for every dollar invested, the return, such as on the Erie Canal, is about 14 times the amount invested. Of course, that's a much bigger, longer trail, but nevertheless, this one is just as good as any trail and better than most. So I think that this trail complements the work that what's happening now in the last few years is agencies with deep pockets, such as the Open Space Institute. I've been working on trails, and so this complements work that's going on. The Open Space Institute is doing a Port Jervis Kingston Rail Trail. Delaware and Hudson Canal is moving. Sullivan County is working on a 50-mile trail from Wordsboro to Livingston Manor. And there are other local trails all over the place that are becoming more important and more useful. And I thank you for your time. I have some comments that written by Bert Thielander, and he said, we strongly support the TIP amendment, OCT 2601, being considered, and he supports stage 3 Heritage Trail extension to connect downtown Middletown with Howells. And we hope this amendment will be approved and implemented during 2026. If anyone is interested, the 50-mile trail in Sullivan County are maps. I'm not here to promote Sullivan County, but I thought you should know you have allies. And at some point, the Heritage Trail and the Erie Railroad line will get very close to a whole trail network in further west in Sullivan and Orange County. So I thought for our chairman, I know has this, but what I'm presenting for the record is a map of the Delaware Aqueduct from 1865, and it shows the new Erie Railroad line coming in. And so I give this to you to put in the record. And I made copies of my comments in case anyone wants these. I'll pass these around. Thank you for your time and your attention.
Thank you. Are there any other members from the public who wish to be heard? Anyone online? I'd ask that we move along then.
Hello.
Oh, yes.
Hi, this is Gabrielle Hill. I'm not sure, having some issues with my camera. Happy New Year, everyone. I just wanted to come on and introduce myself. I'm Gabrielle Hill, newly elected Orange County legislator representing District 6, which includes the city of Newburgh and part of Bonneville. And I'm also a member of the Newburgh Transportation Advisory Committee. So I just wanted to come on and say hello and listen and learn today.
Very good. Welcome. Any other public participation? If not, I'm going to move along. Approval of the meeting minutes. These were included. John, a second. All the members in favor signal by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay. Minutes are approved. Communications and announcements. There's an updated OCTC voting members list that was included in the meeting materials and is posted on the OCTC website. TAP, New York State DOT, will be accepting funding applications for the Transportation Alternatives Program through March 12th, 2026. And we provided a link to the application. In terms of Transit Orange, Transit Asset Management Plan update, the applicable Transit Orange operators have updated the Transit Asset Management Plan, the TAM plan for 2025. As per 49 CFR 625.53, a copy of the plan is provided with the meeting materials for the reference by the MPO. Additional funding resources. and guidance. We've provided links to USDOT Navigator, USDOT federal grant opportunities, Secretary Deffer letter to recipients of federal financial assistance, USDOT long letter to applicants and federal executive orders. Reports and actions on new business. Want to continue? Old business. Okay. Here's the 2026 air quality conformity. NIMTech wants to lock in assumptions for modeling by February 1st. Model runs and documentation prep will be done through the end of April. 30-day comment period anticipated in May. And NIMTech hopes to adopt by June 18th for approval by the federal agencies in late July. This means that OCTC would have to introduce the draft determination by April 16th, meeting for adoption at the June 11th meeting. It's possible OCTC April 16th meeting may be pushed out a week or two if necessary to complete the draft determination, but we'll keep you members informed. Otherwise, OCTC staff have focused on, you want to handle that? Okay. And I want to thank Stacy who has put together the RFP for transportation consulting services that was sent to DGS and Law on December 18th. With that in place, we'll be able to get underway some of the tasks that we have in the pipeline, including the Route 17, Route 6 transportation corridor study and others. So very excited about that. Stacy's prepared the draft UPWP, preparation of the UPWP performance and expenditure reports, and revisions to proposed tip selection framework, and updates to the OCTC email distribution list and website, assistance from Anleta, Reina, and Hannah on that. So I'll pause for a moment. Do any members wish to provide project updates to the planning committee? Any other members?
The traffic operations, I will tell you, we're doing the punch list right now with the contractor, and DOT is inspecting the work. And we're having some conference phone calls with the DOT to resolve a couple of issues that they have noted during the construction. So, but we're almost done with that project.
Oh, very good. It's looking good. I've been around the city, so yeah. Any other members? All right.
Well, the Heritage Trail, if you want to. About Heritage Trail, or you want me to give some quick update after our meeting?
I wasn't at the meeting.
Okay, so the Heritage Trail, we're meeting with some businesses in downtown, Middletown, and basically Travis and his engineers and myself, and to make sure that everybody is on the same page with us. We're not causing any hardship on anybody, and the design is moving forward, and they're going to be submitting that hopefully very soon to the DOT for approval, and then we will go on to advertising for construction. So that's what the Heritage Trail is.
Jacob, thank you for those updates.
Yeah.
We're next going to move on to old business. I'm going to ask Stacy to lead the discussion on continued review under proposed tip project selection framework. Stacy.
Okay, a revised red line draft was in the packets, and then Rena has also brought it up on screen. Based on the discussion from the last planning committee meeting, I made some changes to set out kind of more explicitly define a two-phase process where staff would go through the initial submissions, confirm eligibility for the funding type, and look, use that scoring chart in the back just in terms of how it's the proposed project aligns with LRTP goals. And then that information would be forwarded to either any committee decides to do with it. TIP project selection subcommittee or the entire planning committee will do it either way. We added a few things. You can scroll up a bit, Raina. There's some. If you go to step 2. Yeah, this is the screening to ensure feasibility in terms of construction, whether it will be completed within the time frame, whether the funding's adequate. So these criteria underneath the bulleted ones for review may include but not be limited to, and then that was some of the considerations that we discussed at the last planning committee meeting. Right-of-way acquisition is in there. If you could just scroll up a little bit so we can see the rest of them. Cost estimate, urgency of need. Go to the next page. Schedule, sponsor capacity, whether they're a previous recipient of TIP funding, maintenance, and then the other additional criteria that the committee considers relevant to the particular call for projects. And then once, whether it's the planning committee or the TIP subcommittee, that recommendation would be passed along to the full planning committee. If it's just the subcommittee, the planning committee would then confirm selection of projects and recommend it to the policy board for approval to additionally the TIP. So I don't know if folks have had the chance to read this.
Well, I think we just got this today.
Well, it went out last week.
There were no attachments to that email.
There was a link.
I clicked on the link.
Well, it should have led to the website, the packages, but if you guys need more time, that's fine too. Gauge where everyone's thoughts were at.
Yeah, but what's on the screen now is not.
It seems like they need more time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
And that's fine. We just want to, provide a framework to get this started and,
Thank you.
with that, I'm gonna move on. Next item on the agenda. Review.
Yeah, I just didn't see it there.
Yeah. I didn't see
It's
it.
okay.
Next we'll move on to the review staff TIP amendment. OCTC 2601, administrative modification, OCTC 26A.
It was included in
I'll just read it. So this amendment and the administrative modification allocate additional funding to existing projects as discussed at the last several OCTC committee meetings. First, Neolander had submitted a comment on behalf of Mission Hudson Valley's Pathway supporting the amendment. Karen just reiterated that. Any discussion, comments?
and then it will be up for adoption.
I didn't see that one over there. Well, that I saw. For the other red line item?
So these don't have it, but
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so I'm gonna move on to new business.
Yeah.
We're gonna review proposed reallocation of previously unallocated Minnesota Valley Transportation Management Area 5307 and 5340 funds. I'll ask Stacy to lead us in this discussion.
this is actually year or so ago, the TMA did a couple projects for the unallocated funds. And it was awarded to 6 different projects, 3 in the OCTC, metropolitan planning area, 2 in DCTCs, 1 in UCTCs. So passing this resolution is the initial step in the process of project funding, and respective designated recipient of FTA funds for the metropolitan planning areas have to submit grant applications for FTA review and approval. But this funding will allocate the unallocated for this resolution will allocate the unallocated funds. And then depending on the nature of the project, a second resolution may also be necessary to add the project to the TIP.
This is only for transit.
Yes, it's all 5307.
Just a question, the Monroe Park and Ride one, is that just the expansion money? Is that what that was?
It's not expansion, I think it's more like striping and, yeah. Some ADA improvements maybe.
That's a county-owned park and ride.
Yes.
No, the village owns that one.
That's all? Because here it says
Says Orange County,
sponsor,
Orange
Orange County.
Oh, we had to, because of its TMA funding.
Nice. Pass through.
Yeah, sorry for the interruption, but the Village of Monroe Park and Ride is a upgrade infrastructure improvements. It's kind of all asphalt at grade right now, so there's going to be some sidewalks put in and that kind of stuff.
Perfect.
Thank you, Dave. Any questions, concerns?
So that's
How often?
old money.
Yeah.
It's old money.
From 2020.
So how often are you doing
24.
like a reconciliation to see if there's leftover money in 5307?
Like your
Is
separate-
it like accumulated from many years?
Yeah.
Yes.
7,000.
24.
Right,
I
and
see.
there's
So
also-
when the new funding comes out, new funding comes out, the TMA looks at the new funding and then looks at what's left over. So it's looked at a regular, at least annually, it's looked at to see how much is left. And then we're mindful of the time lapse of it, because we don't want to lose funding, because it does expire. This money's fine, but it's all factored in an annual.
But here there's a 5-year period of leftover money. Is it like once in 5 years that you do this or?
No, it depends on what's in the pot, because we don't know each year how much money the UZA is gonna get. So it's not an annual thing, but it gets to a point where the TMA decides, okay, there's enough money here that we need to go out and use it, see who needs it.
And when, excuse me, we get the initial, the funding for each year to split through the TMA, they will go back up. It doesn't arrive necessarily on a set schedule, and actually 2024 came in like just as we were putting this on the street, so it got added into here.
So you don't know now if there's $2025 left over.
I think we're just working on the backup for 2025,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, but it doesn't look like there's gonna be funding for a couple of years.
If there's no further commentary on that, let's move on to review of the draft EPWP for 2026, 2027. Lisa.
That was also in the meeting materials. And we mentioned this in the previous meeting, but for state fiscal year 2026-27, OCTC received $810,016 in FHWAPL funds and an additional $168,746 in FTA MPP funding. The proposed draft has not changed significantly from the previous iteration, other than to allocate those funds among the various activity lines. We added line 44.23.02-08 for the Highland Falls Main Street / West Point Highway Study. And we also added back the activity line item for short-range transportation planning. Anyone has any questions, concerns?
Move along. The next OCTC meeting dates for reference, unless otherwise noted. We have 3 meetings, will be from 1 PM to 3 PM right here at classroom number 4 at the Fire Training Center. The agendas will be distributed closer to each of the meeting dates, and we'll confirm whether the meeting will involve a planning committee and or policy meeting. As you know, sometimes we go back to back. February 26th, this is later in the month due to the timing of the UPWP adoption, which has to be adopted by March 1st. April 16th, this is later in the month since we have Passover, which is from April 1st to the 9th. And June 11th, location to be determined. So please mark those on your calendars. With that, I'm going to ask for an adjournment, but also just ask that everyone remember to stay here for the policy board. So I'll ask for a motion to adjourn. Second.
Raised earlier about whether attachments versus a link, is that the new approach that you're gonna be sending material instead of attachment?
The advantage of the link is that sometimes they have large documents that are just, it comes coming from those. So that would be our preference, to be able to utilize a link.
That's fine.
In the link, wanted to check now, is it broken up each item separately or it's one link for everything together? Because if someone wants to print only portions of it, there's a hard time printing.
We could, I guess we could break them out separately. We were trying to,
But it's like
Yeah, no, it's,
the first 3 pages and another 10 and another, you don't
you
need to.
just want to click on one document and print it.
And print it, exactly.
yeah,
That-
we were trying to keep it to one document because then we can have on the website, it's just the date, the meeting materials, and then eventually it'll be the video or the minutes.
It's difficult to read if it's not separated, to print. I see that Jake is printing everything, but some people don't print everything because they're big reports that you don't need to print, but
And you guys can do that with page selection, or I guess we could have to figure out, our
it's like,
county's website is not ideal with what we are able to do with it. And the archive feature is a little bit frustrating, so we're trying to keep stuff out of the archive and onto the OCTC pages.
or you go back, go back to how you did it for all these years.
The documents are a lot bigger and you can't always email. It just refuses to go, or some people, systems won't accept them. When we have smaller documents, it's not an issue. Another option would be a share file, but I think that may be problematic and the link is probably better. But we can look at posting individual documents.
It's also hard to figure out what's in the link. You really need to scroll to like a couple hundred pages to see if there's a resolution at the last page that you need to see. Instead of, if there's separate links, at least you know what this is resolution number, then it's broken down.
See, when I clicked on the link, I went to your agendas and meeting minutes. Because, you know, for our, at least for my meeting, that's where we put all the documents. And I didn't see the documents in there. So that's why I didn't think that that's where.
It should have just like pulled up
Your website when I clicked on it.
right, which should have had the agenda for the meeting, the meeting materials. But we'll.
The points
do it
are well
differently.
taken. We'll figure out how to be able to transfer the materials to you, but also have it organized in such a way that you can sort it out if you need to. Does anyone need a break or are we good to go? Start the,
Yep.
Good.